Starting in a few weeks, this empty lot behind me will be packed with food trucks on weekends. From the Harlem residents that we've talked to, they're very excited about this change. In Harlem, I'm Kimberly Ammiano. Willets Point is home to 62 acres of auto body shops and junkyards, and most of them are immigrant-owned small businesses. But new redevelopment plans are pushing them out.
That's the way the city works, you know, and we can't do anything about it, so we can just sit back and wait till they could just take everything now. It doesn't affect them.
Juan Rodriguez has managed Sunrise Auto Parts here for over 15 years. Last year, Mayor Bloomberg announced that Willets Point businesses will be driven out and replaced with a convention center, shopping mall, and mixed-income housing.
They're just not going to relocate me. They're just going to, hey, here's the money, get out, find out your way, you know? We don't care where you go, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter to us. You just have to go.
Willets Point is the latest example of new, large-scale construction projects planned for the city. Examples include Hudson Yards and Flushing Commons. Many fear that projects like this are pushing small businesses out. According to the American Immigration Council, in 2010, immigrant business owners generated $12.6 billion in total net business income. Between 2006 and 2010, over 260,000 immigrants became new business owners in New York, making up about a third of the city's total business owners.
Back in the day, the city was very much actively involved in supporting the neighborhood business activity.
Lawrence King is a business advisor at the Small Business Development Center at Columbia University Business School.
I mean, they claim that they're still doing that now, but I think they should probably return back to those kind of similar policies where it was kind of neighborhood-based, community initiatives to support small business activity. Hopefully with the new mayor that will play a role in that.
City authorities began phasing out businesses in Willets Point last month and will continue to do so over the next 3 years. Workers plan to relocate, but small business owners throughout New York City are hoping to avoid a similar fate. Kimberly Ammiano, Columbia Television News. There are over 260 eggs hidden throughout the 5 boroughs, and you have until April 17th to find them. After that, they will be put up for auction with proceeds going to the elephant family and studio in a school. So get hunting. Kimberly Ammiano, Columbia Television News.
Typical day, I'll get in the car every morning, and either I'll go out to find stories out in the city, or I'll find somewhere to write my stories and make phone calls and and be on the computer.
I'm Corey Kilgannon. I'm a reporter for the New York Times.
2 or 3 years ago, one of the editors asked me if I wanted to do a regular Sunday column called Character Study, which would be basically a profile of almost like a New Yorker of the week. I like to call it for simplicity's sake, and I would go, I basically go around and try to find interesting people, compelling people, eccentric, quirky, funny, and you meet interesting people every week. You get involved with their lives, for a short time, but you sometimes fairly deeply. You get to ask them whatever you want. It's like you kind of get to live with them a little bit, each week.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it'll turn into a story because
it has to be really right for this column. So everyone has an uncle or an aunt or a boss or a client that they think is perfect, and they're not.
How are you? Where's the Haitian guy who's a mechanic here?
Mechanic?
Is he here?
That guy?
Yeah, the street mechanic. The older fella. Huh?
11:30 coming.
11:30?
Yeah.
But in the rain, he'll be here, you think?
Okay.
In the rain, will he be here?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay. I want to get in touch with the guy who gives these long. I'm serious. I want with the guy who gives these infomercials for like BioCleanse or whatever the product is. I called the station like months, maybe even like a year ago, asking the same thing, and like I left my message and no one ever got back to me.
It's hardly like reporting to an office and like punching in and punching out. It's interesting and it's always different, and it's something of my own making. It's been like a niche of mine to write about people, write about New Yorkers, and that's what I'm interested in. I like people. I get a kick out of them.
Daytime is for finding stories, and like the nighttime and there's a time to find them and there's a time to write them. And I find just because I'm a little hyperactive or whatever you call it, ADD. It's harder for me to like, oh, I'm going to sit down in the middle of the day and write my story. You know, like I'm kind of jumpy, you know, and I want to talk to people. That's why I'm more active. I want to like, you know, get out there. And the New York Times guys are looking for you. We want to meet up. We want to write you up for the New York Times because everybody knows you in this neighborhood.
This guy's a kimchi salesman. Like he walks around with like some kind of briefcase or whatever, like trying to interest people in like buying kimchi.
This job is so like fact-driven and cerebral and stressful that you need something that's like not that, you know. I dropped music for a while when I was doing this news stuff, and I was real like, because I didn't have time and all this stuff, and then I realized like I needed something else. Like I have a trumpet, I keep my trumpet in the car. I'll play music with them. I'll ride a bike with them. Whatever they're doing, I'll go with them, you know. And because that's what I would do anyway, you know.
One risk is the online circulation of weapons. Currently, there are no laws prohibiting the printing of guns. Kimberly Ammiano, Columbia Television News.